All right, so I'm going to give you a couple of ChatGPT prompts for the context, in the context of marketing. And so you can use these to get ahead of the curve. Ultimately, you're going to save a lot of time at the end of the day. For those that need a recap, ChatGPT is a conversational interface. It's ultimately going to help you save a lot of time, especially if you can integrate it with whatever data that you have, whatever proprietary data that you have. So collect as much as you can, legally, and you're going to be able to get ahead of the crowd. And if not, still, I'm going to show you a practical way to use all of this, and hopefully you can take at least one or two things from this, and let me know in the comments below if you think I might have missed something in terms of prompts. So first things first, let's take a look at my screen over here, and you can see that I've already started to use the prompt, right? So I don't want you to just wait for me to type in every little thing. So I just said, write me a YouTube script about practical ChatGPT use cases, right? And so it actually gives you an introduction over here, and then it will tell you a little more of an intro, and then it'll kind of go into some of the practical use cases, right? So customer service, virtual assistants, language translation, content generation. So this is high level, but the good news is that ultimately I'm just looking to save a lot of time. And so I think of ChatGPT as my assistant, and if it gets me even 60, 70, 80% of the way there, and I just need to do 20% of the work, I'm more than happy to do so, because time is my most valuable asset, right? And so now let's say I'm writing a blog post and I want to simplify this to 150 characters. Well, I want a meta description for SEO purposes, right? So you can use it to not only write scripts, but you can use it to also simplify text. So I said simplify to 150 characters, and it did a really good job here. It covered the key points, and it seems to make sense. I mean, this will do, right? So that's the second one. Now, the third one is having it help me write catchy headlines, right? So obviously the game with YouTube is thumbnails. It's the game is also headlines, right? So 80 cents on a dollar is spent when you're writing your headline. That's a David Ogilvy quote. And so transferring your business with GPT or ChatGPT, revolutionize customer service. These all sound kind of, I don't know, boring. And so basically the next thing I said was, I said rewrite these to hook me in as a YouTube viewer. And the headlines that we get are not exactly the best, but they're better, right? So like, discover the power of ChatGPT, the game-changing language processing tool. Take your customer service to the next level with ChatGPT, right? See it in action, makes translation a breeze, right? So you can see that it's gotten a little better. But the point here is that when you think about human beings in general, I think what ChatGPT has actually helped us uncover is that human beings don't know how to ask good questions, and we ask very surface level things. Oftentimes we'll just ask the first level question and we won't go further, right? And so an example of this might be if I ask the chatbot, what is ChatGPT? And I'll just kind of answer what it is, and I'll just take it for face value. Or I can say, what is ChatGPT? And I'll say, why is this important? And can you share some data with me? And what is a steel man case for this? And what is a straw man case for this, right? So I can ask for opposing viewpoints. Or I can ask a question like, what is capitalism? And then I can say, what is an example of this where it works? What is an example where capitalism fails? What is the opposite of capitalism, right? And give examples of where it failed and where it worked, and then steelman the case for both. And so that way now I'm able to understand a lot more. I can go deeper, right? And what that requires, I mean, for most human beings, we just don't go that deep because we don't know how to ask good follow-up questions, and we can't get to the bottom of what we're really looking for, right? And so what I'm showing on screen right now is a way for you to get deeper, right? Just go deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm just using this in my content creation process, right? So rewrite these to hook me in as a YouTube viewer. Okay, that's great. So now I'm like, okay, what else can I do? What else can I do? Could I repurpose this piece of content into a tweet storm, right? So I'll say make the key points into a tweet storm. And so ChatGPT is a variant of the GPT language model. It has been trained. And then let's say I don't have enough data on the first one. Maybe I want some more information. I'll say expand on point one. And then boom, I get this entire paragraph over here, right? And I can ask it to simplify it. I can ask it to expand it into 1,000 words or whatever. I can ask it to go in many different directions, right? The key thing is that you're specific with the type of asks that you're going for. And then I'll say okay, can you give me an example of this working in real life with data? So it kind of misses my point on, example. It answers this point on give me an example of this working in real life, but the data point is missing, right? And maybe it didn't understand me correctly. And so So one example of ChatGPT being used is customer service chatbots. Okay, that actually is true. ChatGPT can be used to power these chatbots, allowing them to understand the context and intent of the customer's message and provide accurate and relevant responses. So let's say my friend has a company where they're in telecoms and they do like a couple $100 million a year. And so you can bet that they have a ton of data, right? And they've actually converted quite a bit of customers using chatbots like this. And imagine now that you can layer this on with all the help desk articles that they have and all the other information that they have, right? All the other data that they have that's not kind of publicly facing. And they're going to be able to save a lot of money on their customer service agents, or their customer service agents are going to be able to save a lot more time. And if you think about when you're buying products, when you go to a website, what you're really looking for when you're asking questions, let's say you're looking for, you're on the pricing page, you want to find out more information very quickly, right? And you don't want to wait for a customer service agent to come to you. Sometimes they might not come off professional. Maybe they have grammatical issues because, you're hiring someone from out of country. And so this kind of bridges the gap because now you no longer need to worry about that much. And so I think it's probably a combination of ChatGPT layered on with data that you have, and then layered on with maybe customer service agents. But maybe you need less customer service agents. And I think this is going to be able to get people, 70, 80, 90% of the way there. And then humans will kind of cover that last mile. So I think that's really exciting. I think that's going to save a lot of time, which ultimately saves a lot of money, right? So let's go back to this. So now I want to expand on the piece on the data because the prompt didn't catch it. And so I said, look, please provide some statistics to back up what you're saying. So it says, sure, here are a few statistics that demonstrate the effectiveness of chatbots powered by ChatGPT or similar language processing tools. Study by Oracle found that businesses use chatbots saw a 70% reduction in phone and email inquiries, demonstrating the ability of chatbots to handle a large volume of customer inquiries efficiently. So I bet you that number is going to go up a lot more, just because this is just the kind of early stages of using a tool like ChatGPT, and I believe in the next 2 or 3 years or so, we're going to see a completely different world. A report found by Drift, which is a former client, by the way, of my ad agency, Single Grain, found that chatbots have 90% satisfaction rate among consumers, indicating that they are generally well received by customers. Okay, great. So, you can ask it to get statistics for you. You can ask it to write headlines. You can ask it to simplify text. You can ask it to give you data, more research, write blog posts, tweet storms, whatever it is exactly. Write headlines, write catchy headlines. I think there's really it's hard to find a ceiling for this right now. Okay, and especially when you layer on more data. By the way, before we continue on here, speaking of my ad agency, if you want more help with this type of stuff, this is the type of stuff that we do, more on the marketing side, right? How do we get all the marketing stuff to all kind of connect the dots and play together? You can just go to singlegrain.com, or if you're looking for a gig, singlegrain.com/careers. But I'm going to continue on this video. So now, I'm like, well, I'm going to make this video. Now I want to find some sponsors, right? And we all want to make money from YouTube, right? So I put, help me find some sponsors for my YouTube channel for similar topics. And it kind of misses my question here. So here are a few steps you can take to find sponsors for your YouTube channel. Again, that wasn't what I asked. I want you to, I should have been more specific though. I should have said, hey, who specifically sponsors YouTube channels, right? And so then I follow up here. So my question wasn't the most ideal one. I was trying to blame it, right? But I've realized it's my fault. So which companies typically like to sponsor small business channels? So I got a lot more specific here. And now it's like, okay, for consumer brands, well, I guess this one missed. This one also missed. I didn't ask the best question here. So give me some specific examples of companies that sponsor YouTube channels in the answer above. Okay, so I think I missed it twice because my questions weren't good, but this time I think I got it. So consumer brands, some potential options include food companies such as Nestle, Unilever, L'Oreal, Maybelline. You move down to software, you got Adobe, Microsoft, Apple, Samsung. These aren't necessarily the ones that are sponsoring channels, I believe, but at least it gives me somewhere to start, right? So maybe this got me 20 to 30% of the way there. And maybe in this time period, Google will do a better job. But, this is still better than nothing, right? And now I'm like, okay, so we talk about headlines. Now I need thumbnails. Got to get the CTR, right, for YouTube. Got to get people to click. And so now I said, okay, give me 3 YouTube thumbnail ideas. So A thumbnail featuring an image of the product or service. Okay, so I was a little too general here, right? So give me, so actually maybe let me just redo this. In relation to the topic above, to the main topic. So let's do that. So let's see what we get. Okay, there we go. So the main topic is ChatGPT. I wasn't specific, but it still caught it, right? So a thumbnail featuring a screenshot of a chatbot conversation with the title, Revolutionize Customer Service with ChatGPT Chatbots. A thumbnail featuring an image of a person using a virtual assistant with the title, ChatGPT Virtual Assistant, Your Personal Digital Assistant. A thumbnail featuring a screenshot of a language translation application. Okay. So, I mean, I think this one is probably the best thumbnail, I would say, but then the title could use some work, right? So it's important to note that these are a few ideas, and the best thumbnails would depend on the specific content video. Okay, so rewrite the headlines, make the headlines hook. Let's see if this word hookier even works. Let's just do that. Make the headlines hook. There we go. See, it caught it. So it caught the attention-grabbing piece. Transform your customer service with ChatGPT chatbots. Okay. See now. Okay. These are very okay. I would say as a human being, you can probably do a better job. But point is, I mean, I can get thumbnails, I can get headlines, I can get scripts, I can simplify things, I can try to find sponsors, and now I can say, craft me an email outreach to help promote this topic, this video that I created. Let's do that. Okay, there. See, look, this is great. Okay, so it gives me a template over here. Dear name, I hope this finds you well. This video is a video title, so I haven't come up with the title yet. And then it starts to talk about what I talk about in there. I believe the name of your audience, blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is just too wordy, right? If I want to get people to actually open it, I'm going to say simplify this into like, simplify the email above into, let's say like 5 sentences. Let's do that. Okay, so I don't like how it formatted it into like these 5 bullet points. Format the above into an actual email template. Let's see what happens here. Okay, there we go. So now you actually get the subject line. You actually get the body as well. And so you can see even here in this video, at the end of the day, I could even use more refining on the questions that I'm asking. And I think, there's just a lot that you can do with it. I think at the end of the day, you need to go around and play with this. I'm just kind of using this in the context of me creating content and, for this video. And so what I would encourage you to think about as a marketer moving forward is how can you have if you have people on your team that can help with this, virtual assistants or full-time people, how can they take advantage of this? How can they use this for ads? How can they use this for the content creation process? How can they use this for SEO? How can they use this with proprietary data that you might have? And I think sky's the limit really for marketers, and also for creatives as well, because creatives are kind of the X factor when it comes to all this stuff, right? And so let me know what you think that I might have missed in the comments below, and don't forget to check out this next video over here if you want to learn about how ChatGPT is going to completely change marketing, because I just gave you a couple prompts, but if you check out this video over here, you're going to get kind of the whole enchilada about how this is going to change the game. So that is it for today, and yeah, we'll see you later.